Welcome back, students. Today we are going to solve some previous year questions which is related to hormonal coordination topic. This topic belong to unit 6. Okay, so let's start. Question number 1. Which one of the following pair incorrectly match a hormone with its chemical nature? Okay, epinephrine, steroid, parathyroid, peptide, cortisol, steroid, thymosin, peptide. So we have to analyze which pair is incorrectly matched. So just take 5 to 10 second time. After that, we will discuss the correct answer. Okay, time up now. Which of the following pair incorrectly matched? So all the hormones who are ending with INE, this INE, they are actually produced or developed by the tyrosine hormone and tryptophan. Tyrosine and tryptophan origin. Okay, so these are proteinaceous in nature. Tyrosine and tryptophan are amino acids. So this is wrongly matched, right? Parathyroid, it is a peptide hormone, correct? Cortisol, glucocortisol, any type of cortisol hormone which is released with the adrenal ACTH, adrenal cortex region, that or adrenal gland, we can say they all are steroid in nature. So this one is correctly matched. Thymosin, again, it is a parathyroid hormone. So epinephrine and norepinephrine both are proteinaceous in nature. Okay, so according to me, choice number 1 is wrongly matched. So this is incorrect match. Clear? Now, second question. Hormones secreted by kidney and gastrointestinal tract are erythropoietin, insulin-like growth factor, secretin, renin, or angiotensinogen. Just take 5 to 10 second time. After that, we will discuss the correct answer. Hormones secreted by kidney and our alimentary canal or gastrointestinal tract. Okay, time up now. So our kidney, with this kidney, erythropoietin hormone is secreted, by which it gives the signal to the bone marrow for the RBC production. Okay, so erythropoietin is the correct option. This is released by the or secreted by the kidney. Now, this insulin-like growth factor, this is released by the pancreas, right? While this secretin and renin, these are the hormones which are actually associated with the digestive system. So these two, secretin and renin, secreted by our gastrointestinal tract. Clear? This angiotensin hormone, this is released by the liver. Okay, so this is via liver and this is via pancreas, right? So remaining A, C and B. So A, C and D option is given in choice number 1. So choice number 1 would be the correct answer. Clear? Now, question number 3, list 1 and list 2, we have to do matching. Sleep-wake cycle in A option. B option, electrolyte balance, then uterine contraction, then hyperglycemia. They have mentioned 4 different symptoms, 4 different type of functions. And here in list 2, they have mentioned name of the different glands. So we have to match it correctly, which gland show which kind of function. So in list 2, they have mentioned in choice number 1, pineal gland, then pancreas, choice number 3, pituitary gland, and then choice number 4, adrenal gland. We have to match it correctly. So for this, you just take 10-second time. After that, we will discuss the correct answer. Time up now. So sleep wake cycle. Sleep wake cycle is related to the pineal gland. So this is correctly matched. Okay, pineal gland. So I'll write down first option over here. Okay. Now next is electrolyte balance. This electrolyte balance, and then uterine contraction, and then hyperglycemia. Hyperglycemia. This is related to glucose level present in our body. So this is glucose level. Just to maintain the glucose level, there is a hormone known as glucagon, which actually accelerate or upscale the glucose level in our body. And another hormone which is known as insulin. This insulin, this actually maintain lowering down the glucose level in our body. Both of these hormone is released by the pancreas. Okay, so D comes with the choice number 4. Choice number 2, I am so sorry. Now uterine contraction. This uterine contraction is associated with the certain hormone which is released by the posterior pituitary gland, or we can say neurophile axis. 3 type of hormones: vasopressin, antidiuretic hormone, and oxytocin is released by the posterior pituitary, okay, or neurophile axis. So this uterine contraction is related to the choice number 3. This is already correctly matched. Okay, now what else is remaining? Electrolyte balance. So we can match it with the 4th choice. So now we can see 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 3 and 2 comes in the choice number 2. So this would be the correct answer. Clear? Now next, question number 4. A person experience sweating and increased heartbeat before an interview. Okay, before an interview, which of the following hormone is responsible for this restlessness? Estrogen and vasopressin, progesterone and oxytocin, adrenal and non-adrenal, insulin and glucagon. Just take 10-second time, and after that we will discuss the correct answer. Okay, time up now. So if a person experiencing a kind of stress condition, like sweating, stress is increasing heart rate during a sudden emergency situation, and that situation, a hormone which is known as stress hormone is released from that person's body, and that hormone is known as adrenaline and noradrenaline. That is proteinaceous in nature. Okay, so in like in interview, for the interview, that person is suffering is in a stress condition. So these are the symptoms, like in stress, sweating, palpitation, increased heart rate, restlessness. These are the symptoms in that particular stress or emergency situation. So that time, adrenaline and noradrenaline hormone is released from his body. While in others option, estrogen, this hormone is related to the puberty, right? Progesterone, oxytocin, these hormones is released from the anterior pituitary side, right? Progesterone from the anterior pituitary means these are not oxytocin. This is released from the posterior pituitary sides. Same for vasopressin is also released from the posterior pituitary, insulin, glucagon, these are released from the pancreas. Okay, so restlessness, this condition, especially we have to focus this restlessness or emergency. If there is a term, they can also write down the stress condition term or emergency term. So stress hormone, this androgen is known as stress hormone also. So this is the correct option. Choice number 3 would be the correct answer of this question. Okay. Now, next question, question number 5. Which of the following are not under the control of thyroid hormone? Not under the control of thyroid hormone. A. Maintenance of water and electrolyte balance, regulation of basal metabolic rate, normal rhythm of sleep-wake cycle, development of immune system, support and process of RBC formation. Okay, so we have to choose the correct option. Just take 5 to 10 second time. After that, we will discuss the correct option. Okay, now, so to maintain electrolyte balance in the body, to maintain the water, amount of water and electrolyte balance, this is under the control of thyroid hormone. This is correct. Thyroid hormone is mainly responsible to maintain our metabolic rate of our body. This one is again correct. Okay, but this normal rhythm of sleep and wake cycle, this is under the control of pineal gland. Pineal gland. So this is not under the control of thyroid hormone. Similarly, for the development of immune system, there is no role of thyroid hormone for the development of immune system. This one is again wrong. Okay, and support thyroid hormone support and process the RBC formation. This is correct. So C option, this is related to pineal gland, and in the development of immune system, there is no role of thyroid hormone. So according to me, C and D, this is given in choice number 2. So choice number 2 would be the correct answer of this question. In choice number A, 1, they have mentioned B with the C, while this is the main function of thyroid hormone, maintaining metabolic rate of our body. Okay, so that's why this one is not the correct option. Okay, now next question, that is question number 6. Which of the following are not the effect of parathyroid hormone? Not the effect of parathyroid hormone. Stimulation the process of bone resorption, decrease calcium level in the blood, reabsorption of calcium by renal tubules, decrease the absorption of calcium by from digestive food, increase metabolism of carbohydrate. Just take 10 second time. After that, we will discuss the correct answer. As you know, this parathyroid hormone is actually associated with the increased calcium level in our blood. Okay, by reabsorbing it. Okay, by reabsorbing it. So this stimulation of the in A option they have mentioned this parathyroid hormone stimulate the process of bone resorption. Yes, it is associated. So this is the role of parathyroid hormone. Okay, so this is a correct statement. They have mentioned in choice number 2, decreased calcium level in blood. This hormone is associated with the decreased calcium level in the blood. No, it is associated with the increased calcium level in the blood. So this is a we can say correct option for, as they have asked over here, not the effect of parathyroid hormone. Parathyroid hormone is associated with the increasing calcium level, right? See, reabsorption of calcium By renal tubule, yes, renal reabsorption of calcium occur in under the influence of parathyroid hormone. Next, decrease the absorption of calcium from digested food. No, again, so this is again a correct statement. It will not decrease, it will increase the absorption of calcium. Next, increase metabolism of carbohydrate. It is not related with this metabolism of carbohydrate. So this is again a statement is not the under the effect of parathyroid hormone. So choice number B, D, and E are comes under the appropriate answer option, and this is given in the choice number 2. Clear? Now next question number 7. Erythropoietin hormone, which stimulate RBC formation, is produced by alpha cell of pancreas, cells of rostral adenohypophylaxis, cells of bone marrow, juxtaglomerular cells of kidney. 5-second time. If we know the name of the organ from where this erythropoietin hormone is released, we can very quickly solve this question. This particular hormone is released via kidney. Okay, and from kidney it send the message towards the bone marrow side where RBC production will get enhanced, right? So here they have mentioned pancreas, here adenophylaxis, here bone marrow, while in fourth option they have mentioned kidney, just a glomerular cells of kidney. So correct answer would be the choice number 4. Next, hormone store and release from neurophylaxis, or we can say posterior pituitary, are thyroid stimulating hormone and oxytocin and vasopressin, follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone, prolactin and vasopressin. Just take 5 to 10 second time. So pituitary gland we can divide into two like this. This is like this. It is with this small duct, it is related with the hypothalamus. This is anterior pituitary, and this is the neurophylaxis or posterior pituitary. Okay, so posterior pituitary is mainly involved for the release of oxytocin, vasopressin, and antidiuretic hormone. Remaining other, all like follicle stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, others hormone is released by this anterior pituitary zone. Okay, so here in only choice number 2 they have mentioned oxytocin and vasopressin. Here they have mentioned prolactin with vasopressin, so this one wrong. Follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone released via anterior pituitary. Here again thyroid stimulating hormone TSH is released via anterior pituitary, while this oxytocin is released by posterior pituitary. So both the hormone options is correctly matched in choice number 2 only. So choice number 2 would be the correct answer of this question. Next, question number 9. Which of the following condition will stimulate parathyroid gland to release parathyroid hormone? We have just now solved this question related to this topic. So you just take 5 to 10 second time. After that, we will discuss the correct answer. Which of the following conditions will stimulate the parathyroid gland to release parathyroid hormone? So as I said earlier, this particular hormone is mainly responsible to increase the calcium ion level in blood and in our tissue. Okay, mainly in blood. So if calcium level will get fall down in the blood, then very quickly parathyroid gland gives signals to parathyroid hormone to get released. Okay, so if blood calcium level is fall down in blood, then only parathyroid hormone get released. So choice number 2 would be the correct answer. It will activate if calcium level will get down in the blood. Fall in bone? No, this is not the rise in blood calcium. Then there is no need. This is mainly associated with the rising the calcium level. Fall in active vitamin D level? No, this is also not related with this. So if blood calcium level will get fall down, then only parathyroid gland start releasing parathyroid hormone. So choice number 2 would be the correct answer of this question. Next, artificial light extended work time and extended work time and reduced sleep time disrupt the activity of artificial light. First, extended work hour and reduced sleep time disrupt the activity of thymus gland, pineal gland, adrenal gland, and posterior pituitary gland. We have solved this type of question previously also. So this is related to the sleep-wake cycle is related with the pineal gland. Pineal gland is actually associated with our sleep-wake cycle. So what is the correct answer of this question? Choice number 2. Okay. Now, question number 11, identify, okay, they have given us a small diagram over here, A, B and C. Identify A, B and C in diagrammatically representation of the mechanism of a hormone action. Select the correct option from the following. A, steroid hormone, B, hormone receptor complex, C, protein, A, protein hormone, B, receptor, C, cyclic AMP, A, steroid hormone, B, receptor, C, second messenger. In fourth option, A, protein hormone, B, cyclic AMP, and C, hormone receptor complex. Okay, just take 10-second time. After that, we will solve this question. Okay, at the time of theory class, we have discussed two type of hormones. One type of hormone is steroid in nature, another is proteinaceous in nature. Or proteinaceous nature hormone are hydrophilic in nature and steroid hormone are hydrophobic in nature or lipid loving nature. So if this A come over here and just are not allowed to enter inside the cell and just ligate to a receptor which is present on the cell membrane, then we can very quickly analyze that this type of hormone is hydrophilic in nature. Okay, hydrophilic in nature, as in the cell membrane so many it is a lipid molecules are there which doesn't allow to come or penetrate proteinaceous or water loving molecule inside it, right? So that proteinaceous hormone just bind with the receptor which is present on the cell membrane site and then give its response to the next target site which is a cyclic AMP. So this is how the proteinaceous hormone works. If the hormone are steroidal in nature, then it can very quickly, there is no need of a this structure which is known as receptor. Steroid hormone can penetrate this cell wall very quickly and come towards the nuclear side. Okay, and give its signal directly towards the nuclear side and give directly signal to the DNA for the production of the related thing, right? So if a hormone, this is a hormone, this is 100% sure, and if it is not able to penetrate this cell membrane, cross this cell membrane and bind with the receptor present on the surface of this cell membrane, then it is a proteinaceous hormone. So this is protein. First of all, we have to understand this protein hormone. And obviously this is B is a receptor. It is a receptor. Okay. What C? C is a cyclic AMP, which actually act as a messenger molecule. Cyclic AMP, which act as a secondary messenger molecule to start different type of physiological response. Okay. So A is protein molecule, protein hormone. It is mentioned in choice number 2 and 4. B receptor. According to me, B cyclic AMP in fourth option. No. So choice number 2 would be the correct answer. B receptor and C cyclic AMP. Okay. So choice number 2 would be the correct answer of this question. Next, which of the following hormone can play a significant role in osteoporosis? Osteoporosis. Estrogen and parathyroid hormone, progesterone and aldosterone, aldosterone and prolactin, parathyroid hormone and prolactin. Take 5 to 10 second time. Okay. So which of the following hormone can play a significant role in osteoporosis? Osteoporosis occur in the elderly age. Elderly women mainly. Why? Because after menopause, sudden decrease of estrogen hormone occur in their body. And this estrogen hormone, and because of this reason, the elderly women are more prone for bone fractures because of the low calcium level in their body. Okay, so estrogen hormone and parathyroid hormone, which is actually mainly involved for the to maintain calcium level in the blood and tissue, they actually fall down after menopause time. So this estrogen and parathyroid hormone play a significant role in osteoporosis. Okay, progesterone and aldosterone, no, this is not related. Prolactin, here also prolactin, this is related to something different. Okay, this is related to after motherhood. This is related to lactating path and other things. But mainly this estrogen hormone is related to the significant role in osteoporosis in elderly women. So choice number 1 would be the correct answer of this question. So these are some questions which is related to hormonal coordination chapter of unit 6. I hope most of the things has been cleared now. Keep solving some more questions related to this topic, hormone coordination. If you will find any difficulty, please let me know. We will discuss it later on. Till then, take care. Bye-bye and keep learning. Namaskar.